But this was all happening a year later. So those parents' estates took freaking forever. Hi, Jeff Versace, the Plain English Attorney, and today I'm just going to go through some probate tales. Probably the biggest one that I ended up participating in that just shows you should probably try to do everything you can to avoid probate and use a revocable living trust as a way to avoid the court and all this other crap, just because you never know what's going to happen. So, a client of mine, he called me up, and I had taken care of him and his wife, and everything for them was all set. And he called up and he said as much. His name was Harry. And he's like, look, Jeff, I know that we've got all of our stuff. I've been trying to get my friend to come over and see you because he needed to get stuff done. I work with him, one of my best friends. We were out playing golf, did 18 rounds. We were going to go into the clubhouse, get some food. And he's like, I just don't feel right. I'm going to go home and I'm going to lie down. All right. So the three of them, they sit there, and Charlie is his name. He had gone back to his car. He was going to leave. And then one of the servers comes running in, grabs Harry by the arm and starts bringing him out into the parking lot. He's like, what? There's Charlie behind the wheel of the car, foot all the way down on the brake, but it's in gear, dead of a heart attack right there in the parking lot. And he was only 57. So Harry's saying, look, I'm at work. They're like, well, what do we do with his 401k? What do we do with his last paycheck? What do we do with this? And he's like, I didn't know, so I figured I'd call you. All right, so I started running through. All right, well, was he married? Nope, not married. Any kids? Nope, never had any kids. All right, parents, because that's the next in line to inherit. Nope, parents are both dead. All right, any siblings? Yeah, he's got one sister. All right. That sister is his heir. If he doesn't have a will, she's the one who gets everything. Oh, okay, good. So he contacted the sister named Patricia, and Patricia came down from New Jersey, where she lived and where their parents had lived. And she was lost, absolutely lost. I sat down with her and with Harry there and tried to explain, here's how everything works, here's what happens with probate. And she's, look, I can't do this. Harry, would you do this?
If you think it's important for educational videos like this to get out there, then please help us out by subscribing to the channel.
Okay, he's like, it's my friend, I'll do it. So we put together the papers for her to renounce her right to be the administrator, requesting that Harry did it. He signed it, put together that initial filing, sent it in, and okay, it should be a couple of weeks, and then Harry, when you're approved, great. So we get those papers back, and then it's about a week or maybe 2 weeks after that, I get a frantic call from Harry. Now, I'm gonna back up a bit. Part of the complication of this estate is that mom and dad's estates were still open, and it had been more than 2 years. So both of those estates were, that money that was going to be coming in should have been part of Charlie's estate. So, all right, so that is listed because it's his. It's not going to contingent beneficiaries. He had outlived him by the statutory amounts. He's the heir. So now that he's dead, it goes through his estate. So, getting back, frantic phone call. I'm at Charlie's apartment. There's police and fire. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, all right, here's my cell number. Call me back if you need to. He calls back a few minutes later. Patricia's dead. Patricia had been staying in Charlie's apartment. She had next to no money. So I think she had a big jar of change that she used to get the bus ticket to come down here. So she was just living in Charlie's apartment for now. She had been smoking on the couch. You know, thought she had put the cigarette out, went to lay down in bed. And apparently the couch had caught fire. All of the oxygen in the apartment got used up, so she suffocated, but that also extinguished the fire. It didn't go anywhere beyond the couch. But Patricia died. And then suddenly all of the cousins start coming out of the woodwork, and they're calling my office, and Charlie had this, I want this, and Charlie had that, and I want this, and I want this of Charlie. Whoa, 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 whoa. I had to explain to them, none of you are Charlie's heirs. You're not. You're Patricia's heirs. So start a probate case up in New Jersey where she was a resident. When we get the half of the estate coming from Charlie's parents' estates, we will combine that and send it up, all of it, to Patricia's estate. Meanwhile, Patricia's estate needs to get the half from the parents' estate that's still outstanding. So don't come to me and demand it. So this became this huge multi-estate thing, and it blew up. And it really didn't help that the cousins, or at least one of the cousins, got an attorney who was just an absolute jerk. And he's calling down and demanding stuff of me. And look, he's acting like, oh, I must be some kind of mild-mannered Southern lawyer, and not realizing I grew up Italian in Rhode Island and then went to school in New York. And the accent actually came back when I started yelling back at him and telling him to go shove it. So, all right, fine. Because it got to that point, I'm like, all right, I don't handle any kind of contested probates or any lawsuits or any of that stuff. I can help you with it. Fine. I had to turn it over to somebody else. And so this other attorney, we ended up in a CLE together about a year later, and he was telling me what finally ended up happening is the cousins were demanding to take custody of all of the personal stuff. And it's like, okay, they arranged everything to turn it over to this attorney because it was part of Patricia's estate. And it's like, okay, show up with your moving van. And Harry had actually put the stuff in his garage to save on fees, you know, trying to be nice. And it's like, yeah, at 11 o'clock, everything comes in. 8 o'clock in the morning, this guy's pounding on his door demanding the stuff. It's like, no, you come in 3 hours. You better give me that stuff. Harry takes out a pellet gun. It's like, get the F off my property until 11 o'clock. And apparently the police had to be called to defuse the situation, but this guy just figured he could push people around. But this was all happening a year later. So those parents' estates took freaking forever. So all of this mess, if Charlie had just had a revocable living trust, all of his stuff would have been done immediately. And then we could have just turned it over to somebody else. But that's not what happened. So this years-long mess could have been avoided. It could have all been completely avoided on Charlie's end and on Harry's end if the parents had revocable living trusts. Then Charlie would have gotten his half. Patricia would have gotten her half. Patricia might not have even died because she wouldn't have been in Charlie's apartment, and we could have just sent everything on. So I hope you found that information useful. please check out the links. And also, probably one of the best ways to start your search for your own estate planning journey, what do you need to do and put stuff together, is my book, Estate Planning Basics. We're going to put a link to that. It's available on Amazon, so that'll be in the description below as well. We also do have an audio version, which is a little cheaper, also linked in the description. So I hope you found that information useful. As I always tell my clients, please stay safe, plan ahead, and enjoy life. And whatever you do, make it a great day.